Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second lesson in the unit on sequences and series. What we'll be talking about in this lesson is an arithmetic series, which is the sum of an arithmetic sequence. Okay. Again, pretty much formula based, and once you fill in the variables in the formula, it pretty much becomes a calculator problem. So the formula for the sum of an arithmetic series, so the sum of some number of terms is the number of terms divided by 2 times the sum of the first and last term. So you need the first term, the last term, and the number of terms. So take a look at this first problem. Find the sum of the first 4 terms in this sequence. Well, right here it says 4 terms. I gave you 5 terms. We're only going to be using the 4 terms. So when you get this, when you get a problem like this, just make sure you read it. So let's take a look. Our n in our formula is 4. The first term is 5, and the last term that we're talking, because we know we want 4 terms, is 14. Okay. So if we look at the formula, so we want the sum of the first 4 terms, that's an S, 4/2 times 5 plus 14, so it's 2 times 19, so the sum of the first 4 terms is 38. So what happens when you don't know the last term? We know the common difference, we can still find the sum of the series. Okay, this formula here was from the previous lesson. So if you look at what happened here, this was inserted in place of a sub n, and that's how we got that formula. So that's the sum of the arithmetic sequence when you don't know the last term, or the nth term. Let me rephrase that. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is, instead of finding the last term and then putting it into the formula, we're going to use this formula, which helps us find the last term. Okay. So we're looking for 30 terms. Okay. Our common difference is 2. And we know our first term is 7. Alright, so we're going to use the formula there. So the sum of the first 30 terms is equal to 30/2 and times 7 plus, now we're going into this formula, 7 plus 30 minus 1 times 2, which is our common difference. So it's 15 times 7 plus there's actually another parenthesis there, 7 plus 29 times 2. (29 times 2 is 58. 58 plus 7 is 65. A little more room. So the sum of the first terms is 15 times 72, or 1080. Okay. If it does make more sense to you, separately use this formula to find that last term and then just put it into this one. But I'm showing you the formula that has the how to find the nth term already inserted into the series formula. Okay, let's take a look. Let's do another one. We want to find n for this series. All right, this becomes an algebra problem. All right, we don't know n, so we know our first term is 30. Our common difference is -4, and the sum of some unknown number of terms is -210. Okay, so we look at the formula. -210 equals n over 2 times 30 plus, now we have to find that n, so we're still trying to find n. That's times -4. Okay. It just becomes a messy algebra problem at this point, so you have n over 2. So just follow along, just write it down as we go. I'm going to distribute this -4. So hold on. I have to erase something. I'm not re-recording this. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to distribute the 4. -4n plus 4, double negative. Okay. So what did I do here? I brought the 30 down. This 30. Oh wait, I have an extra 30 in here. Hold on. Let me erase this. Sorry about that. There we go. I knew it didn't look right. Okay, so we still have -210 out in front. $30 plus 4 is 34. So we're going to combine the like terms. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take this n over 2. And if I multiply n over 2 times 64, I get 32n. And when I multiply this out, I get 2n squared. Okay? N over 2 times 4n, -4n. So because we have a negative with the square term, I'm going to move everything to the left. So 2n squared minus 32n minus 210 equals 0. If I divide everything by 2, n squared minus 16n minus 105 equals 0. Now we have to do what everybody's favorite thing is. We have to factor. The factors are n minus 21, n plus 5, n plus 5 equals 0. So n equals 21, n equals negative 5. Now you come down to this and you look and you say, okay, is it possible for me to have negative 5 terms? Well, the answer is no. The number of terms has got to be a positive number. So that means this gets rejected. N is 21. Okay. If you need to replay this part of the video to follow along with the algebra, then do that. Okay. But it really is just an algebra problem, and you just have to be careful and do it piece by piece. Okay. So let's do 2 practice problems. Pause the screencast if you need to. Try these problems on your own. All these problems are using the formula here, this formula on the previous page or the previous screen. It's right above, because those are on the bottom of your note page. That formula above. So these problems here, these 2 problems, are using that formula. So pause the screencast, jot down your N and your D and all that stuff, A sub 1 and all that, and try and work through the formula. So pause the screencast, do that, and then come back and we'll go through the solution to this. Alright, so welcome back. Let's take a look at this. D here is 2. A sub 1 is 7. And N is 35. So we're looking for the sum of the first 35 terms is equal to 35 over 2 times 7 plus, now we're going into the other formula, 7 plus 35 minus 1 times 2. So you get 17.5 times 7 plus 35 minus 1 is 34 times 2 is 68. $17.5 times, that's a 17 there. 7 plus 68 is 75 plus 7 is 82. So the sum of the first 35 terms is 17.5 times 82, or 1,435. It's the sum of the first 35 terms. Okay? Let's now do the second problem. The sum of the first 60 terms. Again, we don't know if this number 304 is the 60th term or not. Okay, so D is 5, first term is 9, N is 60. Okay, so the sum of the first 60 terms is equal to 60 over 2 times 9 plus 9 plus 60 minus 1 times 5. So it's 30 times 9 plus 60 minus 1 is 59 times 5. Okay, plus 9 is 304. So, and let me erase this. Alright, so let me say this again. 60 minus 1 is 59. 59 times 5, then add 9, it's 304. Okay, so you wind up with 30 times 313, 304 plus 9. That's the sum of the first 60 terms. So it's 9,390 is the sum of the first 60 terms. Okay, so when you do this with the calculator, just be careful. Remember your order of operations. First thing here, 60 minus 1 is 59. Then multiply by 5. Right? Parentheses, multiplication, addition, subtraction. That's where the 304 came from. Then when you add the 9 to that, you get 313. So there's the sum of the first 60 terms. So thank you for tuning into this lesson on arithmetic series. This lesson has been brought to you directly from my dining room table, as most of them have been, and I will see everyone in class.